Hi, my name is Lindsay Higgins, Artistic Director and founder of 60 Grit Theatre Company. I'm here to tell you a little bit about our second upcoming production, Sarah Kane's beautiful, brutal, controversial Blasted, opening at Portland Stage Studio Theatre, August 2016. And I'd also like to tell you about our Indiegogo campaign and how you can help support the production. Before I tell you more about our production of Blasted and how you can help support, I'd like to tell you about 60 Grit Theatre Company and where we come from. We are a fairly newly formed company, born in London, UK, relocating to Portland, Maine. Above all, we want to tell stories. We want to explore what it means to be a human being by fearlessly and ambitiously pushing the boundaries of traditional theatre. When Blasted premiered 20 years ago, it turned the modern theater on its head. The violence and the brutality that was presented was unlike anything that had been seen on stage in modern British contemporary theater. And with the piece, Sarah Kane changed the landscape of what we know today as British contemporary theater. We can thank her for a lot of the risks that playwrights are taking today in the UK. When Blasted premiered, it was viciously despised by critics and generally misunderstood by theater goers. When the curtain opens, we see a fairly naturalistic hotel setting, and from that point, the setting and the landscape of the play seemingly crumbles around the characters in very real ways. And for me as a director, that's what I find exciting. The dialogue itself crumbles into something that is difficult to comprehend. We intend to prove with 60 Grit Theatre Company and with this production that the play is much more than senseless brutality, that underneath lies a very important and poignant statement about our complacency in regards to distant wars, that often as a society we very comfortably behind our computers and our televisions view faraway wars, and we want to explore what that means and to show that that's not okay. Complacency, especially when it comes to violence and brutality, is not okay.
Hello, my name is Heather Elizabeth Irish, and I am playing Kate in Blasted. Kate is a young woman from South London who is trying to resolve a troubled relationship in a time of civil unrest and disillusion. My character, Kate, what she means to me and why I'm excited playing the role of Kate is because I think, in spite of all of the damage she endures, she is surprisingly resilient. Audiences should expect to see the work of an important female playwright whose work is just as relevant today as it was over 20 years ago when it first premiered. It's a very raw, dramatic, and occasionally shocking play, the kind that audiences rarely get to see. Well, nothing scares me, per se, but it is going to be a very challenging role to dive into, which is one reason why I'm so excited and jumped on board on this. Because it is a very rare opportunity for an actor to live in Sarah Kane's world, and I hope you all get a chance to see it.
Blasted is a technically ambitious production, and to tell the story in the way that Portland deserves and in the way that Sarah Kane deserves, we need your help to make this the best possible production that we can. Technically, we need a set that is functional and is able to change and adapt to the actions of the play. Somewhere around the third scene, there's an explosion, and the set needs to transform into a different environment. Our expenses primarily are that of the venue and rehearsal space. We will be paying $1,000 to rent Portland Stage Studio Theatre for 1 week. For rehearsal from July to August, it will cost us roughly $500. We've been granted a 4-performance license to perform at Portland Stage, and that will cost us $400. And then we move into the realm of costume and set and props, which will be a whole nother level of expenses. So we're looking at the very base about $3,000 to make this show as best as we possibly can make it. And to do that, we are begging and asking and pleading for your help from our friends and family. The power of $1 cannot be understated. Sharing the campaign, donating $1, anything you can do, we are extremely grateful for.
Hi, I'm James Noel Hoban, and I'm playing Ian in Blasted. Ian is a journalist, a rather dissolute fellow, very much on his last legs, both physically and emotionally, in a time of war and civil strife and a breakdown of civilization. But I think he is nevertheless clinging to some last shreds of humanity and the hope for human contact at the very least, if not some degree of affection. They should expect to see the work of a very important modern playwright, Sarah Kane, one who is really not produced enough in general, and certainly rarely produced in Portland. I think they should be excited on those grounds alone. And I think they should also be excited because it's very challenging theater. It's not theater as comfort food or social bauble. It is very raw and timely and relevant, and I think it's really going to stand out in the local theatrical landscape for that reason. I'm not scared, but it is very challenging material, and it is that challenge that I find exciting. It's the kind of piece that, as an actor, you have to not worry about yourself looking good, coming off good, being likable. You really have to get yourself out of the way and go all in for the character, go all in for the playwright's words and her intention, and leave nothing on the table, and be really willing to go there and let it be what it will be. Let the audience feel what they're going to feel. It's not the kind of play that wraps itself up in a pretty box and gives you all the answers when all is said and done.
By supporting our production of Blasted, your donation will help in a number of ways. First and foremost, it helps support local Maine artists and the vibrant community here, which is always important. We have a wonderful cast of actors, including Heather Elizabeth Irish, James Noel Hoban, and Nick Wakely coming from Boston to star in the show. And we also have a wonderful creative team of Maine artists, including Michaela Dunnincourt designing lights, Chris Fitz designing sound, and Andrew Hesselbert stage managing, and myself, a University of Southern Maine alum, will be directing and producing the show. Secondly, your donation will help support a playwright who is fairly unknown here in Maine. Sarah Kane is extremely underproduced in Maine, and your donation will help expand the knowledge and expand her voice here in Maine to a playwright that, in my opinion, everyone should be familiar with. So by sharing the campaign, donating even $1, the power of that cannot be understated. Anything you're able to do, we are extremely grateful for. From all of us here at 60 Grit Theatre Company and the creative team of Sarah Kane's Blasted, we'd like to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for taking the time to listen to our video and read our campaign. We are extremely grateful for any way you're able to support, whether that means sharing the campaign, donating $1, or volunteering to help backstage on the show. We are so grateful for anything you're able to do. Until then, we hope to meet you in the very near future, possibly see you at the show in August, and lots of love, Internet world. Thank you so much.